We've always been a successful school with an academic focus, but I think what we saw 10 years ago was perhaps some opportunities for improvement, and particularly for our Pacifica and our Māori students. About a third of our students are Pacifica students, and the biggest groups are Samoan and Tongan students. I think in terms of engagement in the classroom, staff have had the opportunity to learn and grow their cultural competences. And so for students to be successful in our classroom, they've all got to feel that sense of belonging and that sense that they're valued in the classroom for what they bring to the classroom.
Complex ion.
A complex ion, awesome, well done.
A big part of the changes that have happened over the last 10 years has been the growth of student voice and the growth of student involvement. And that started off as a group of Pacific leaders who would perhaps meet a couple of times, 2 or 3 times a term, and talk about what was important to them or what success looked like for them.
We invited community leaders to our first whono, and that was very purposeful. It wasn't an invite to all parents. And the reason why we focused on leaders, church leaders, education leaders, they were networked. We wanted suggestions, we wanted help and ideas about how can we engage our communities better. While it was a partnership between the school, principal and leadership and senior teachers and ourselves as the board, we fronted it. So when they arrived, we as board members welcomed them, and all our board members showed up. And when it came to after dinner and we sat to have our conversations, we had the young people, key students, come and tell the group about performance, tell us about the school.
The first dinner was 2013. It took development, and that development included, the understandings that needed to be put on the table, the shifting of minds and the understanding of what would work best to even have that conversation.
Now we have a Pacific study night, 1 night a week, which focuses on supporting Pacifica students who have that focus on academic learning and want to head to tertiary.
The idea was to create a space for them to come together, support one another as Pacifica students, but also to normalise studying. So we try and capitalise on them coming together, so not just for studying, but also to have talanoa. Open discussions about the pressures or the challenges faced by our Pacifica students.
I find it hard to give it in on time.
Okay, so as a Pacifica student, do you feel like you're torn? It's also a space for our Pacifica student leaders to come together. So we have a group called the Aspiring Pacifica Student Leaders Group, which is made up of leaders from year 9 to 13. We use the study nights for them to come and do some mentoring. So alongside us staff providing that support, we have our student leaders who are willing to engage with the students that come in.
When we have our annual community dinner for Pacifica leaders, that group of students host the dinner and speak at that dinner about the things that are important to them, to their families, to their wider community.
It's been really great to see our local Avondale Life Care come in and bring some platters. We've also had some of our Year 9 students, their family volunteer to feed our sessions for our students.
The community now come to us, and they're bringing food for us, they're supporting our students and allowing them to not just do their study, but also to share some sort of social time and to share food and to have some time when they can think about their successes, think about their goals and what their aspirations are for the next steps.
It's my last year of high school, and what I always wanted to do was head into the medical field. I always wanted to work in a hospital setting. So next year I'm looking at either Auckland Uni or Otago. So I'm definitely excited for that, studying hard.
To be honest, when I came to New Zealand, I don't know how to speak English. When I joined in school, Avondale College, I joined in the Gateway program. And then I did a few courses at school, like safety course and that. But this is what I always think of it. Like, I want to be a builder, I want to be a cabinet maker. Come here, and then here I am.
Avondale as a community, we're always really tight-knit, especially during Polyfest. We love to see all the families on Fia Fia night.
It involves a huge number of our community, both our students, our student leaders, our staff, tutors, but also the wider community and families. So we have this magic 6 to 8 weeks in term 1 where the connection with our community is palpable. And the support from our parents is significant, and they will very much be alongside the teachers and the tutors and the students.
A lot of New Zealand-born Pacific struggle with the sense of lack of identity because of the language, and we see language retention rates struggling still. And so having Polyfest, having all these opportunities available here at the college are all pillars to strengthen that. And it's such a sense of community here where parents, church leaders, everyone comes together as a village, because we all believe that it does take a village, or Avondale village, to raise the children here, the students.
So range, highest number
When we look back 10 years ago, our Pacifica students, about 51% of them were achieving their year level qualifications, and now 90% plus of our Pacifica students achieve their year level qualification.
Guys, does that make sense for those?
If I think about sort of proud moments on the journey, it's when you see the light in a student's face when they know that they have achieved something that was beyond even their own aspirations.
Perfect, well done.